Much of the last few hundred miles has been run solo, but now I had company.
Hello, Ollie here, and this is Jog On.
That was great.
This is Jog On with Harry Morgan and the final days of running 500k. From miserable conditions to being joined by you, the Jog On audience, to total exhaustion, these next 3 days will be quite the adventure. It's Wednesday, the 27th of January, and the sad news is that most of the snow, bar the remnants of a few snowmen, has gone. I'm driving the Jog On van to meet an acquaintance who I haven't seen for some time. He appeared a little while back both on the Jog On podcast and later in a video. His name is John Green. After stating that road shoes should be fine, John led me on one of the muddiest routes that this country probably had to offer that day. The conversation flowed as I explained to John
the other advantage of meeting up with the odd person like yourself. It's almost like you've just taken on a tour guide.
Must be nice not.
John stopped mid-sentence as his foot disappeared into another pool of mud. A final muddy straight, and at last, tarmac appeared.
Some form of road. I'm going to have to go down this carefully. Hallelujah, a road.
We began to run.
I'm hoping some of this mud is going to start to fall away and my feet are going to feel lighter and lighter now. 3.4 kilometres in.
Soon John and I found ourselves precariously balancing on tightrope-like lines of mud, which only got worse and made walking, let alone running, difficult.
I mean, there is just very little grip right now.
I raced up the hill to catch John and we pushed on, which is when one of my favourite moments of the whole 500k challenge took place.
Dreary? Oh, it's horrible, isn't it? Absolutely horrible. We haven't fallen over yet, but it might happen soon.
Pretty yucky.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you've got.
Well, exactly. That's it, isn't it? Have a good one.
Just brilliant.
Oh, he was nice.
We watched him half drive, half float his vehicle away up the dirt track, which led us to join the infamous South Downs Way, where John and I ran in a previous video for his 100-mile trail run. A short while later, we were crossing a main road when John began to have Garmin issues.
I don't know what. This has only done a mile and a half.
Well, I've got nearly 8 kilometres, so nearly halfway, so that sounds a bit better than a mile and a half.
As we pulled our way through the woods, John asked about the results of 27 days of running so far.
You must have lost a bit of weight over the month, haven't you?
Yeah, about 4 kilograms, which is decent, but at the same time, as you know, being a tall male, it's not quite significant. I think if I tried to do this 6-7 months ago, it would have been a completely different kettle of fish.
But then we hit a very slippery slope.
Yep, I'm now taking it very carefully. Lemonade.
I took to side shuffling before opening up at the bottom.
Well, I managed to not fall somehow, but I really thought I was going to go a couple times there.
Passing crystal clear streams,
Yeah.
we witnessed incredible watercress beds.
Just gone through the 10-mile mark. Got a little ways to go, going to keep running through this. And total time was a 1:43 for the 10-miler. Feeling all right, legs a little stiff. Only 4 days to go after this.
It's hard going on the mud.
Oh my word. The second section was so different from the first. I appreciate that, thank you very much, John.
Back at the Jog On van, I changed my shoes over.
Well, we definitely went through some mud. What on earth happened to you? Where's your head? And quite frankly, if you are still watching this, I'm very impressed that you've stuck around this long. This challenge has been going on for a while.
Very kindly, a few of the listeners and the viewers of Jog On sent me messages saying if I wanted to come run their local route, they'd be happy to show me around. Obviously, I couldn't accept all of them, there are a few too many, but also a lot of them were in places that under the current restrictions I just can't get to. It's all very lovely, the idea of going and running in Scotland, but at the moment it might be frowned upon to do a 9-hour drive just for a run. But this is a gentleman who was in an area that I could get to, and he dropped me a message just saying if I wanted to, he'd be very happy to take me on a run. So I said, make it 10 miles, why not? His name is Alistair, he's shown a huge amount of support to Jog On, and I'm very happy to be meeting up with him for today's run. We might get a couple of odd looks because we're wearing the same top, but apart from that...
Once we're out of the town, we'll be fine.
But to begin with, it would be a twinned bright orange run through the town centre, before finally hitting the country lanes.
3.5 kilometres in. It's really nice to actually be back on some road, especially after yesterday on the muddy trails, slip sliding all over the place. I'm with Alistair today. Alistair has been around, I mean, it feels like nearly since the beginning. And the amazing thing about the top that Alistair's wearing is that was the first one I ever sent out. You're almost like patient zero, number one.
I'm the source of all this evil.
It all stems from Alistair. So we've got on a local route, 10 miles. Quite a headwind, as you can probably hear.
And that headwind continued up the lane as vehicles pulled over to let us by.
Cheers.
Then I saw what lay ahead of us.
That looks like a decent hill.
A long, snaking hill, which quickly had me out of breath. But I was impressed by Alistair's fitness as he climbed up the hill without too much trouble at all.
5.85 kilometres done. Feel this one in the calves. I'm just saying the sun's come out and Alistair warned me not to burst into song. It turns out this whole time I want Jog On to be a musical. Whenever you want to, Alistair, we'll do the turning point.
The gate.
Cool. So this is an out and back where we are hitting the 8k or 5 mile mark, flipping round and heading back again, which will be nice actually, because I'm remembering quite a few hills we came up, so they should be quite nice to cruise down. But what I probably won't have remembered is all the hills we came down. Yeah, one thing that's been really nice is just to be permanently on tarmac today. It's made a really nice change. It's just turned the legs over on something firmer.
We waved to a fellow runner and headed back for the town centre.
Cruising back in through the local town, being smashed in the face by more wind, but overall feeling pretty good.
And finished the 28th 10-mile run.
1:32:31 I've got. Oh, brilliant, thank you, that was excellent.
Back at the van, we compared notes before parting ways.
Well, just pulled out the car park and that was absolutely fantastic. Great to meet someone who's been a supporter of Jog On from so early on, as you heard there. He was the first Jog On top ever sent out. I do really appreciate people who watch the videos, comment on them, and also listen to some of the podcast episodes.
I checked up on our snowman.
Oh dear Lord, it's impressive he's lasted this long, I guess.
It was time to yet again run 16.1 kilometres, including a 5k with my youngest subscriber.
Another morning, let's have a check on the progress of the snowman. Oh my, he really is looking a little worse for wear now. With just 30 miles to go, including today, I'm quite excited about this afternoon's run because I'm meeting the person who owns the smallest Jog On top we've ever produced. He simply goes by the name JOG OLLIE. Does that work? JOG OLLIE works. JOG OLLIE. He simply goes by the name JOG OLLIE.
The jacket came off and the belt went on.
Day 29 of 31 has begun. So we're in ever so slight a hurry because we arranged to meet JOG OLLIE, his manager and security, at 3 p.m. Currently we have 30 minutes to get in as much of the 10 miler as possible before finishing up. Hopefully the plan is the last 5 kilometers with him. I think Ollie's run about 27-26 for the 5k, so he might just go for it. Yes, that's doable, but it won't be particularly pleasant after 290 miles of running.
Time was getting short.
We're having to lay down a little bit more pace than I'd like right now in time to meet Ollie. We're coming, JOG OLLIE! We're coming for you!
And then,
whoa,
we saw him.
There he is.
When it rains, it pours. Water's up to my chin. Won't stop fighting to the very end. Running from the law.
So here we are on day 29 of 31 days in a row of running 10 miles, and I'm joined by the youngest member of the Jog On crew, Ollie, who's currently sporting the smallest junior size Jog On top we've ever produced, and it's still quite big on him. So I think you're gonna have to, like a dress, I think you're gonna have to grow into it a little bit. Give it a year. You may have got bored of my videos by then, but
No way.
ah, thank you. You hear that? No way can you get bored. You might get bored.
JOG OLLIE and I ran together in formation, and he was laying down a brilliant pace as it dawned on me just how surreal this was.
Hello, Ollie here, and this is Jog On.
That was great. That was excellent.
But JOG OLLIE was getting faster.
You going for a PB, Ollie?
No.
Our route took us down trails, bike paths, and through woodland. With only a slight height difference between us, we compared distances.
I'm 12 kilometers in.
I'm 3.54
3.54, so we're doing a 5k together. Ollie's running really, really well.
because we're training.
And he's got his Garmin watch on to record it. Yeah, you're about the age I was running. Trust me, keep it up. You're in for a good
You're
life.
like Mo Farah.
Who's?
Mo Farah.
Who, me or you?
Me.
All right, okay, yeah.
He had confidence, that's for sure.
You're certainly running quick enough. We're currently holding about 25-minute 5k pace. Ollie is running well.
With just 500 metres to go, we found ourselves running laps to get the distance in.
Here we go, Ollie. Last little bit, we're now running in circles. I'm getting dizzy. Oh, 5 kilometers. Excellent, well done. Ollie, that was an excellent run. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. Oh, that was great for Ollie to join. I felt he ran quite well there.
He was really strong.
So we now have 2.4 kilometers to run to finish off this 10 miler. Jog on!
With 2 runners up ahead, we decided to put the burners on. Victory was ours.
Louise just dropped off as she hit her target distance for the day. So I'm just finishing up this last bit through the village. Whoa.
And it was done.
16.1, 10 miles, 130.29 total. Absolutely brilliant to finish the 29th day. 290 miles total. We got 20 miles to go. Brilliant to run with JOG OLLIE himself. 2 more to go. Let's do this. I mean, I'm amazed there's even something there. Hello. The fact that it survived that long is pretty impressive. There's a cat in the greenhouse because that's normal. And off we go.
I stepped out to very wet conditions.
Day 30, the penultimate day.
A few mobility drills,
Okay,
and I set off.
come on.
But immediately encountered a herd of cows.
Oh, great. Hello. Lovely to see you. Please don't chase me. Strange fact that I was just thinking about. I've officially now run more days than I have been years alive. Work that one out. This is the spot where I did those 400-meter efforts that time and created a video about how running up hills quickly can benefit your parkrun time. Today, a bit gloomier, a bit wetter, and definitely a bit slower.
Another kilometre of running led me to a blustery viewpoint on the top of a hill. I had an idea to use a man in red shoes to give me a tow.
Regularly coming across bodies of water along the path like this. Just a little bit of path left around the edge to skirt around. Some of them are small enough to jump, but you might not be surprised to hear that the spring in my legs is not what it usually is when I haven't run over 290 miles.
Passing a small abandoned building in the undergrowth, I knew I had to check it out. However, there wasn't much in there other than a wise man listening to the Jog On podcast.
6 kilometers run, 10k to go. Let's do this. Penultimate day. One more day after this, one more day.
By now, the rhythmic squelch underfoot was loud and constant.
Riding once again between the horse jumps. It's wet and miserable, but it's very hard for any weather to douse the positivity of the fact that there is just 1 day left. That was 10k in 57:06. 6 kilometers to run. It's amazing what the body's capable of when you actually put your mind to it and really try. Have you got any idea how many cattle grids I'd crossed in the last 300 miles? God, it'll be a dull video if I film them all. I'm now at the base of that hill. I was up there a little earlier, listed on maps as Sunny Hill, but I'm actually yet to meet a local who recognises that name.
At this point, the path just became ridiculous.
After 15.1 kilometres of trail, we hit firm tarmac again. Double yellow lines following these for 1 more kilometre back to the car. And that will mean 300 miles run and just 1 day left to make it to 500k. 16k, 100 metres to go around this field. Come on!
A dog shot past as I lumbered across the grass with heavy legs.
10 miles!
The exhaustion was very apparent.
300 miles in 30 days, 1 day to go. Thanks for sticking with me. This has been a hell of a challenge.
This is Jog On with Harry Morgan. Be sure to check out 500k.co.uk and hit subscribe.
Hello, Ollie here, and this is Jog On.
That was great.